Well, hello, everybody. Well, I'm back again. I'm just trying to get, believe it or not, I'm just trying to work out some differences here to see what's really going on. Hold on for a second. Let me get the zip pen. All right, just in case I need the zip pen. Just trying to figure out how YouTube operates. And I find it's very easy. It's just that I guess I'm making some errors in it. You know, like the picture doesn't appear to be very sharp, but that seems to be something on my end that I probably am doing wrong. So I'm going to have to look at it a little bit better or go through it. This is actually the second time today that I'm actually going on live. All right, because I just wanted to see how it works and what does it do for me. But the subject is today, and the subject will always be uh, what's going on in our country. It's a very divided nation. Now, when I say divided, I don't mean like people say whatever election there is, people always say, well, we live in a divided nation. Well, of course we do. Of course, because one side voted Democrat, the other side voted Republican. So, you know, so ideology, are maybe politically, not ideology, but politically, yeah, they got two groups that want to run everything, all right? But this is a little bit different. This is more authoritative than what I was expecting. This is a horror show, okay? And you can't make it up. You can't make this stuff up, okay? Of what this Biden is doing to this nation. Let me tell you something. I didn't like Jimmy Carter. Didn't like him at all. I thought his the ideas that he had and that his policies were way out of line. They were way out of line. But let me say something. I had a tremendous respect for Jimmy Carter. Why? Because he was a workaholic and he was an extremely intelligent man. Jimmy Carter went bad all because he tried to micromanage everything. He would go in his office at 6 o'clock in the morning and wouldn't leave till 10 in the evening. And I have to say something about Jimmy Carter. He sincerely, with all his heart, thought that he was doing good for the country or he was trying to protect the people of the country. Okay. He wasn't trying to dismantle the country. He wasn't trying to divide the country. By all means, and neither was his wife, they were just two pleasant people. So I really didn't, I disagreed with him, but to say that I disliked him, no, I couldn't say that. I can never say that I dislike Jimmy Carter. Okay? Even Truman, you know, I'm not old enough to remember Truman, but some of his policies were were out of whack. But once again, he did things that he had to do. It wasn't where, you know, he he purposely was trying to divide a nation. That wasn't him. Okay, but this guy here, this lunatic here, that's what he's trying to do. And to some degree, he has succeeded. All right. And it shows every day, especially in these courtrooms. We don't have we don't have justice in the courtrooms anymore. Not at all. We have what they call persecution. So they shouldn't call it prosecution. They should call it persecution. I mean, we've seen so far all these Trump trials. It's the DAs that are the ones that are crooked. It's the DAs that are going down the drain, and these judges will not throw the cases out. Why? Because the judge is a liberal and he wants to make sure that Donald Trump doesn't win. That's plain and simple American English. But I got news for all these here liberals. Every time you try something, it just makes the people of this country bear in harder, dig their feet in deeper to make sure that Donald Trump is elected. So keep doing it. The more you do it, the more the people respond. I wouldn't be one bit surprised, and this is top of my head. I wouldn't be one bit surprised if Donald Trump were to receive 100 million votes. Wouldn't be one bit surprised. Matter of fact, today he held a rally in the Bronx, and AOC wanted to have a counter rally. So she rented out this high school thing. So 3 people showed up. 3 people. 3 people. 3 people showed up to this woman's rally. What does that tell you? The people outside where Trump, 30,000. 3 people in hers. So what was she trying to prove? That she's an idiot? Well, we all know that the woman is a blundering idiot. Everybody knows that. So what are you going to do? But I think we have a lot of problems. First, in the legal system, that has to be cleaned up because I sincerely always believed that justice was blind. It's not. When you say justice is blind, that means that it doesn't see the person who is being held who's being held, who was the defendant. Okay, it could be a millionaire, somebody in the middle, or it could be a poor person. Justice is blind. You commit a crime, any crime. It doesn't matter where on the social level you stand or the social ladder you stand. Okay? It just shouldn't matter. But today, it matters. It totally, totally matters. Look at Epstein. Do you know till today his records aren't released? Now, why is that? Can you tell me why? Because there were Democrats in there, and they're not going to release it. The only way you're going to get that thing released is that you get a Republican in there and say it's got to be released. The public has a right to know. Okay, like Hillary Clinton. I got to tell you something about Hillary Clinton. What type of a human being she is. Right? Hillary Clinton likes to go on all these here talk shows and all these interviews and say that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy and that Donald Trump refused to accept the outcome of the vote in this country. He didn't do that. All he did was ask for a recount. The same thing George Bush did, and the same thing Al Gore did, and they held it up between 4 to 6 weeks. Nobody complained. The Supreme Court of the United States had to settle who was the president, who wasn't the president. In that case, but I guess that slipped Hillary's mind. Okay, but I'm going to tell you something about Hillary. Here's a woman that destroyed 34 or 36,000 emails, who busted 9 cell phones, literally broke them. She had her computer wiped out or some shit. I don't know how she did that, okay? But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker to this two-face. This is the same woman that after the election, she was screaming that she wants to get rid of the Electoral College. Does everybody remember that? That she wanted to get rid of the Electoral College. Well, that's going into the Constitution to to undo the Constitution. Okay. But she also has some lunatics in Congress saying the same thing. Nancy Pelosi, get rid of the electoral college. We don't need it. We only need 2 states in this here country that do the voting. Everybody else is just waste of time. And that was New York and California. That's it. Everybody in between means nothing. Can you believe that shit? Then Hillary went on to blame her husband for losing. She went on to blame the press. Oh, yeah. All the liberal press, she said, was against her. Then she blamed social media, said that social media was against her. She blamed everybody and their mother. She blamed the people at the DNC. Anybody that would listen to her, she complained about that they lost. And she carried on for about 3 years with this. Now she's going to lecture people. Oh, what a charming lady she was. You got to be kidding me. I mean, she forgets Monica Lewinsky. She forgets Paulie Jones. Clinton had paid $850,000 in hush money not to go to court. Not to go to court. Paulie Jones had this guy nailed to the wall. He had to give her $850,000. Trump didn't give anybody any money, according to the court papers that just come out in New York. He didn't give any money, not even Cohen, who was supposed to be the star witness, who, by the way, is a pathological liar, was able to even say anything. All right? Hold on, I'm getting messages from here. Hold on for 1 second. So these are the things that are happening, all right, in our society. And somewhere along the line, we accept it. We totally accept it. Hillary Clinton she gave more secrets away than you can possibly imagine with her, whatever she had some computer set up next to her toilet bowl downstairs. And the Russians and the what do you call it, the Chinese were having a ball with her. She's going to complain about Trump. People forget. People forget. All right. Nancy Pelosi indulges is insider trading. Her and her husband. All the time she comes out defending it. But yet they put Martha Stewart in jail, all because a broker told her sell. And that's what she did. She sold. Now, I don't like Martha Stewart. Not at all. I don't like her at all. But man, you put the woman in jail for a year because she followed the broker's instructions. And that's what they did. That's what they did. I mean, I thought that was wrong. And like I said, I don't like her. I didn't find any joy in Martha Stewart going to jail. None at all. I thought it was horrible. So if they can do it to her, imagine what they can do to you. But they don't do it to their own. But Pelosi gets away with it. Why? Why is that? Why is that? Can anybody tell me why Pelosi gets away with that? Because she's a crooked thief. That's what she is. She's a senile thief. It is so obvious that she's an alcoholic that she can't even prevent herself from being drunk now on the House floor. She just mumbles. Matter of fact, I think she was kicked out of the church because the bishop couldn't take her anymore because she would come in on a Sunday and vomit on the floor. Okay? They couldn't take it, told her to get out. Or the cardinal, whoever it was out in San Francisco, told her to get out. This is ridiculous. This is happening. Where would you, if this ever happened, say like England, Italy, any place else, these people would resign. Not here, they don't resign. They don't know what the word resignation means. Not if they're a liberal. A liberal will not resign. You would have to drag he or she out of that office, but they are not resigning. There was a governor over here, Spitzer, governor of New York. I think he was a governor for only a couple of months. What happened was when Mr. Spitzer, the police or the FBI, I forgot who, were investigating a house of ill repute in New York, a very high class house of repute. Okay. Come to find out, Mr. Spitzer, the governor, he was their accountant. Can you believe that? You know, when they went to arrest him, he wouldn't come out of his office. He locked the door, wouldn't come out. He would not come out of that office until they made a deal that they wouldn't lock him up. All right? A liberal. Then they finally said, okay, you got to resign, get out. He resigns, he comes out, and this guy has the the audacity to get his wife and bring her before the microphone and said he learned a lesson. You know, his wife divorced him after that. I mean, this guy, liberals have no foundation. They don't, I mean, imagine dragging your wife through that. Yeah, you stand here. We're both going to be embarrassed. You know, I mean, that was horrible. Horrible. We have another one over here, Menendez. Oh, he's a real piece of work. He was down in Colombia I think it was Colombia. I'm not sure. I don't want to say it was Colombia, but he was down in South America. Like I said, I think it was Colombia, and they found him in a home in a house of repute. Trouble is, he was with 14-year-old prostitutes. Well, supposedly Congress was in an uproar, and that when he came back, they were going to throw him out. But at the time, the Democrats had control. So they just reprimanded him. He didn't get anything. He didn't get anything. They reprimanded him. Okay. Now, a couple of years later, he's been selling himself to the Egyptian government. And the FBI raided his house. They found gold bars, money, you name it. He's not going to leave it. They've asked him to resign. He said, no, I'm not resigning. I'm not going to resign. His wife, you ready for this? His wife, I think she was driving a Mercedes, the way the story goes. She was driving a Mercedes in the evening, and she accidentally ran over somebody. I'm not saying that she did it on purpose. She accidentally ran over somebody. She didn't run. She did not run. The cops came, and she said to the police, do you know who I am? And they said, no. And she says, I'm Senator Menendez's wife. They said to her, get out of here. Go. Get in the car and get out of here. Walt called this a hit and run. That hurts. That really hurts. Here's a human being that was killed. Okay? By accident, was killed. And the police are going to squash it for the person who did it. And they're going to blame it on a hit and run. And that's it. That was the end of it. I mean, that's got to be really super hard. Really, really super hard to digest. But they did it. Now, the wife, you ready for this? The wife is claiming that she has dementia. She can't testify. Always got a game. The left always has a game. going. She's romanced herself with every rich man there is. They've only been married a couple of years. And Senator Menendez thought he caught the whale. He got the whale, all right. He got the whale. So it's like really super hard to understand that all of this that goes on. Or Menendez should be thrown out. They've asked him to resign, and he said, I ain't resigning nothing. Go to hell. Okay, because he sincerely feels that being a senator is a shield. Is a shield. And it isn't. It's not a shield to lock him up. Okay, so he pretends to go to work every day. So one day they're going to walk in there and they're going to handcuff him and they're going to walk him out. He's on trial and he won't do nothing. But yeah, he's the same guy that wanted Trump on trial. Same guy. So do you see the hypocrisy in these people? When it comes to Democrat, look, my entire family was a Democratic family, but it was a different Democratic Party then, okay? They were more for labor. But even at that time, they, they had their crookedness about them. I can tell you what they did to Newark, New Jersey, the Democrats, okay? And, but it was a different type of a party, okay? Today, do you know that if John F. Kennedy were to run for president of the United States today, he couldn't do it as a Democrat? Do you know that? Read what he was for and read what the left is for. He would have never got there. Never. He would have never got there. I'm on the fence thinking that maybe even Johnson wouldn't have been able to get there. I'm just on that fence that Johnson wouldn't have been able to take the nomination. Okay. Clinton, they would have told him what to do. He would have went out there and he would have did it. Okay. Biden, that is just a moron. But he was no better than his boss, Obama. Obama. You know what his? Do you know what his creed was to get into the White House? Hope and change. He never tell you what we're hoping for, and he never said what he was going to change. So the only reason he was voted in was because he's black. But he's not black. He's half black, he's half white. But naturally, Obama knows where the butter is spread on the bread, so he went for I'm black. He threw his own white grandmother who raised him underneath the bus. Could have cared less. Could have cared less. Could have cared less. Because his wife didn't want to see her. All right? He threw all of his uncles underneath the bus. Even the ones that came from Africa, he threw them underneath the bus. Guy has no loyalty. There's no foundation in him. None whatsoever. He doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about. I think it was the British. Was it Tony Blair? I'm pretty sure it was Tony Blair. He said that when Obama walked into a room, he sincerely felt that he was the smartest man in the room. He said even when the generals were talking, Obama would interfere and tell them how wrong they were. Okay? Obama. Right? A guy that never seen a rifle a day in his life. A guy that wouldn't know what strategy is. A guy that has no idea what bug out means, which Biden did. In Afghanistan, he bugged out. You know what a bug out is, people? If you weren't in the Army, I'll tell you. When you're in the Army, and let's say me, I was in Corps of Engineering. I was a heavy equipment operator. But let's just say the enemy is coming and they have 2,000 men. We only have a platoon, maybe 150 guys. All right. So they're going to call it a bug out. You're going to take as much equipment as you possibly can. You're going to pack your bunk and your gear in the trucks. You're going to jump in those trucks or jump in the equipment and start driving it. You're getting out. That's called a bug out. And that's exactly and precisely what that moron in the White House did. But he didn't take nothing out. Nothing out. He left $8 billion worth of military equipment and weapons. And he left Americans. And 7 Americans were killed. He left Americans behind. He should have been impeached right there. That's an impeachment affair. Should have been impeached. They let him go. I guess they all thought if we impeach him, we got the other moron we got to deal with. She's so stupid, she doesn't even know what she said. You know, at least Biden, he's mentally ill. He's been mentally ill like for 60 years. This woman, she was born mentally ill. She has absolutely, I think when the doctor slapped her ass, I think all the nurses and the anesthesiologists all jumped in. So bang, bang, they start banging her, hitting her in the head and everything. I mean, she's one dumb chick. She screwed her way to happiness. When she talks, she's like she talks like a jackal. The hell is that? I think she was at a foreign country, and they asked her a question. She didn't know what the answer was. So what does she do? She diverts it to the president. She goes, "Well, I think maybe he should answer that." I figures if he answers it, I'll find out what the hell they're really talking about, and then I'll add my 2 cents in. It was as obvious as the day was born. So I don't know who she was trying to fool. It wasn't anybody that I know of. Okay? It just wasn't, hold on, I got, look, what is this here? It says, all right, I mean, so, you know, get a grip. You know, so people are just, you know, so people, and then, you know what I love about her? Kamala. You know what I love about this woman? She likes to go around saying that she's an African American. Wrong. When she was elected into the Senate, go look at it. That she is the first Indian woman descended from India. Her mother is from India. Her father is from, wait a minute, her father's from, got it on the tip of my tongue. Her father's from Jamaica. Jamaica, I'm sorry. Father's from Jamaica. Got no black, she has no African American blood in her. But I love when she says, I know how it feels to go stand in line waiting for the bus to come to go to school. First of all, Kamala, your mother and your father are doctors. They had very great jobs in Oakland. I doubt if you had to wait in line. I think the bus probably came to your door. All right. You only stayed in Oakland until you were in the 4th grade, Carmela. Then they moved you to where? Where, Carmela? To Canada. That's right, to Canada. And that's where you got your education, through Canada. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But here's what she likes to say the most. There is a Christmas holiday I can't think of the name of it. I I've got the name of it. Okay, I'm losing my mind at times. Uh, that supposedly, actually, this here was created by a black prisoner. Okay, a black prisoner, and it's after Christmas. And she says that as a child, she remembers sitting in a circle, and elders telling stories. Well, Carmela, by the time that thing became it's not even a holiday, Carmela. But by the time that thing was even invented, you were in high school, maybe even in college. The elders weren't standing behind you. Okay. I know you like to tell that. I know that makes you feel good. See, so you're just as bad of a pathological liar as your boss. As your boss. I can't think of the name of that. It's right off the top of my head. Believe me, I can't think of the name of it. Come, I'll think of it. And you're just another pathological liar. That's why you have the lowest rate ever, 2%. You had such a low rate in your own district of 1%. Of 1%. And you think you're going to do what? What was that? What do you think you're going to do? You can't run for dog catcher. You realize that? 99% of Democrats can't run for dog catcher. All right. Then you take a look at the cabinet of Joe Biden. Whoa, lordy, lordy, lordy. It reminds me of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Okay. Come. Oh, I got that name right over. I got that name of that holiday on the tip of my tongue and I can't get it out. That's what it reminds me of. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I don't know who's the same one in there. Who's Jack Nicholson? They're all banging into walls, banging into each other. They don't know what they're saying. I mean, it's really funny. Yeah, give it a break. Give it a break. I'm waiting for the Indian to come in, rip the rip the sink out of the floor and throw it through the window just to get the hell out of the place. You know what I look? I followed Biden for a very long time because I follow politics. Biden has always been a pathological liar. He has the brains of a fruit fly. Okay, I mean, he really has the brains of a fruit fly. And if you know anything about a fruit fly doesn't have brains. All right. Anyway, he is. He will use anybody to his advantage or what he thinks is his advantage. Case in point, all right, he did have a tragic event in his life. He did. That's when his first wife, and his first daughter were killed in a car accident. Okay. Now, here's where it gets tricky. All right. Joe Biden will go to all these meetings, Mothers Against Drunks, and which is, and he would like to tell this here story that a tractor trailer hit my wife. He killed, he killed, he killed my wife and he killed my daughter. He said he should have been eating, but he had a liquid lunch. All right. And he kept on saying it over and over and over again. Then one day he receives a letter from an attorney. saying that if you say that one more time about this truck driver, we're going to sue you for all you got. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the truck driver, he was coming down the road. She tried and beat the truck driver, the tractor trailer driver. So he hit her. The tractor trailer driver didn't run away. He got out of the car. He tried to get them, he got out of the cab. He tried to get them out of the car. All right. When the police came, they gave him a breathalyzer. They did the whole 9 yards to the guy. The guy didn't do anything. He didn't do nothing. But Joe Biden, like any good Democrat, is going to dance on the graves of people. And that's what he was doing. He thought by them dying, that was a lock for him to get into the back to be reelected. That's what he thought. And obviously he succeeded. Right? That's how he shut his mouth when he received that letter. Say it one more time. And boom. I don't know if you've seen the Judiciary Committee when Justice Thomas went there to be questioned. Well, what they did, what they tried to do to Justice Thomas was horrible. And I think he said it the best. This is a lynching. Okay. Bringing up that woman. He said, I never even said a joke. You got to be kidding me. Okay. Anyway, Biden was questioning him. And then Biden came out with this here crazy statement. He says, let's talk about natural law. He says, you know it, and I know it. And the reason you and I know it is because we're attorneys. Later, maybe up until maybe 3 years ago, he was being interviewed and they asked him about that. They said, did you know what he was talking about? Justice Thomas said, I had no idea what the hell he was saying. I don't know what natural law is. I never had natural law in college. He said, I had no idea what he was talking about. None whatsoever. The man is pathetic. The man is absolutely pathetic. I seen today, I read it on, I seen it on TikTok where he was talking to somebody in the White House and he passed gas. He did that in England. He did that with the Pope. Now the man, get him out of there. Get this man the hell out of there. Give this country a break. Give us some dignity back. Give us whatever honor we have that we can scrape up from this mess. Give it to us. We want it back. Kwanzaa. That's the name of it. The Kwanzaa holiday. That's the name of it that Kamala was talking about. Kwanzaa. I knew it would come to me. Give us some dignity back. Give us some honor. I don't need a Surgeon General who has more problems than anybody I know of, who's dressed up as a woman, okay, who thinks he's a woman, all right? Okay? He's got problems. And then they made him an admiral. What do you make him an admiral for? Where did he go? He goes on a ship, they'll kill him, okay? So what the hell is he talking about? They made him an admiral. But you see that admiral? You see that guy? During the pandemic, you know what he did? He's in Pennsylvania. You know what he did? Takes his mother out of the nursing home and puts her in a private hotel. Nice guy, huh? Nice guy. Not my mother. Like your mother died, but not my mother. Nice guy. He should have been taken out and he should have been given a beating. And then hear him scream that he's being raped. He's not even a pretty woman. He looks like somebody beat the hell out of him, you know. And this is what overseas takes a look at. Takes a look at us. Then he had that other bald-headed queen, whatever her name was, who was arrested at the airport robbing what? I think he was robbing. What was he robbing? Some glamour clothing or whatever. What the hell was that about? Okay, guy used to come to work with a dress on, bald head with a dress with red lipstick, and you're gonna and he's saying to you, I guess so. But that administration, like I said, if you look at that, it's like one flew over the cuckoo's nest. That's it. That's it. Listen, I don't know how this film went down. I don't know if I was just talking to myself today, but I'm going to say good evening to everybody. It's 9:15, so I am going to say good evening, and maybe we'll get the kinks out of this. And in the meantime, I'll still be blowing my top. So good night, everybody.
Now, in this particular case, the police are also employing services of Warwick University to get a three-dimensional reconstruction and virtual footage of the actual injuries on the body. Now, this is done so that the images are not too upsetting or too graphic.